Welcome to another well-being micro practice in this advent calendar. Today, building up on something that we had already touched upon a couple of days ago in a gratitude meditation. I hope you enjoyed that one. And today we will continue to build and cultivate our inner resources. Especially today, the inner resource of acceptance. And what cultivating inner resources eventually means is just kind of implementing positive states of mind and emotions in our brains and our bodies so well that we can call up on them whenever we feel we need them, independently from the outer circumstances. And especially this acceptance meditation is, for me personally, probably the most, or has been the most powerful and the most helpful during the last 2 years, I would say. When I first learned it from Rick Hanson, it just felt like, wow, this really has something to teach me, and I need more of this. I need to charge myself with this resource of acceptance and self-acceptance. So I kept doing it over and over and over and over for, I think, around 3 months, until I felt those batteries were really charged up, and it became something natural. And I also noticed how I started to apply it automatically in my daily life, and from small, tiny situations all the way to bigger challenges maybe. And this is what I want to share with you today, and I really truly hope that it is also of help to the one or other of you, especially in these times now that we are in a global pandemic situation, which for each of us, I imagine, has its very individual challenges, and also with the holiday season in that coming up, which probably also many of us cannot spend the way they would like to this year. So I'm really hoping a little dose of acceptance can help there. So as usual, for our meditations, to start with, find a comfortable seat that allows you to sit upright, but at the same time find a soft quality and relaxation in your upper body. If you like, you can go ahead to close your eyes, and we'll begin with taking a deep breath together. Inhaling fully, filling the lungs up with air. Observing how the rib cage expands, the belly expands. Filling up with air, and then exhale, let the air float out and release. Very well. Feel free to take another few deep breaths if you feel you need it to arrive in your body. And we will begin by learning to know what it is actually like to accept something. We will begin by learning to feel both accepting something as well as resisting something, so that we can recognize and distinguish between those two qualities and eventually have conscious choice about it. So let's begin with something neutral. Imagine, for example, a table or a piece of furniture in your room. Can you accept the shape of this table? Can you tell yourself, I accept the shape of this table? And then sense into yourself, into your body, what is it like to accept the shape of this table? And then moving on to resisting. So what happens if you tell yourself, I do not accept the shape of this table? Tell yourself, I do not accept the shape of this table. How does that feel like in your body? What is it like? Can you sense it? And then let's move on to something that is not neutral, something that is pleasant. For example, a cup of tea that you prepared for yourself because you are thirsty and because you want to warm yourself. Can you accept that this cup of tea is good for you? Tell yourself, I accept that this tea is good for me. What is that like? What is that like in your body? And then telling yourself, I do not accept that this tea is good for me. What does that feel like? What do you observe in your body as you tell yourself that? You can either say it out loud or just in stillness in your mind. And then we move on to something that is unpleasant. For example, some fees or some bills, a fine that you have to pay. I accept that I have to pay this fine, these bills. What does that feel like in your body? And I do not accept that I have to pay these bills. What is that like? Observe. What have you observed? Do you experience acceptance and resistance? And what I'm suspecting is that most likely acceptance feels like something that is at ease in your body, something like lightness, something opening up, freedom, spaciousness, perhaps. And resistance, likely feeling more like tension, contraction, pressure, stress, unease. Can you recognize these two as you were observing them? And we're going to move on now into experiencing. Now that we know what the two feel like and we can recognize them, we go on into experiencing. So again, with the eyes closed, just observing, starting to observe the sensation of your breath. Can you observe and accept whatever you experience your breath to be like right now, without judging it as good or bad, without wanting to change it, just accepting whatever the experience is right now. Perhaps also adding any other bodily sensations you are experiencing in this present moment. Maybe that is thoughts running through your mind. Can you accept those? Or emotions, feelings. Accepting that there is pain in your body, perhaps. What is that like? And what does it do to the experience? I'll give you a few moments in silence. And if you start to observe a sense of peace and ease coming from this acceptance, let that peace and ease sink into you. Let that expand through your body and take that really in. And then we're moving on to something that you actually enjoy about this whole COVID and lockdown situation. Some kind of positive aspect it brought to your life. Perhaps that is that you get to spend more time with your family. Perhaps you avoid the time of commuting. Perhaps you, whatever it is, whatever positive aspect you can find in this whole situation right now, can you accept that? Can you allow that in? And again, if you experience a sense of ease around this, let it really sink into you. And then we're moving on to something that perhaps has been or is right now a challenge to you in the current situation, or that you know with the upcoming holidays is something that you are right now, maybe you have been resisting a bit. Perhaps that means that you will not be able to spend the holidays with all the people you would have liked to spend them with. Perhaps that means you will be abroad alone. Maybe you're feeling disconnected and isolated. Maybe you're missing certain people. Whatever that is, that unpleasant sensation, can you accept that? Let's see if you can maybe find 2 or 3 or even more of these examples as I give you a few moments in silence. Wonderful. Again, any transformation of resistance into a feeling of acceptance, more peace, more spaciousness, more ease in your body. Can you become aware of that, and can you allow that to sink into you as you are sinking into it? Beautiful. And you can slowly come back to the present moment and blink your eyes open again. I really, really hope this practice was helpful to you and you will be able to apply it to your life. You will find this helpful and take it further from here. Thank you very much.